¿Qué pasa, mi gente? Welcome to another video. That was dumb. ¿Qué pasa, mi gente? What's going on? So today we're going to be talking about what my first marathon taught me about content and business overall. If you guys watched my previous video about that, what marathon training taught me about content and business, this is the aftermath. This is after the marathon, okay? I can barely stand up. It's actually been pretty difficult, but there were a lot of things that I learned, and in this video, I want to share them with you with the hopes that you'll literally take time out of your day in order to see how the parallels between marathons and what I learned during the marathon also applies to your content strategy, to social media marketing, and everything in between. But my name is Pedro Millan. If you've never been to this channel, I literally own 2 SMMAs, being social media marketing agencies. I have 50 million views to my name, 100 appointments booked for 20 different businesses, and a Grammy to my name. And I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to share the ideas that I've created in my life for you to become financially free with content, branding, and social media marketing. Anyway, let's get into the video. So let me just tell you about the marathon experience overall. It was interesting. It was very interesting. Like, I will say that I was very prepared for the nutrition, the mental, the lung capacity, like literally everything else except my legs, okay? And that's kind of like the fulcrum of like literally everything that I want to be talking about in this video. But before the marathon even happened, there's this lovely woman named Abby, and you could see that she's like very healthy. Like she was like 75. She's very healthy. She actually did the half marathon because she just wanted to do the half marathon. But she usually does marathons when she was younger, right? You know, as you get to that age, of course, you can't be doing everything that you've done in the past when you're young. But she used to do marathons all the freaking time, and I learned a lot from her overall with just like a little conversations that I had with her during the race and before the race. And the first thing that she brought to my attention was that she wanted me to write down that something that I learned about myself like after the race. Like, what is one thing that you learned about yourself after every single race? And the thing that I learned was that I don't know when to stop. And that is a double-edged sword in a multitude of ways, but I'm not going to be talking about that in this specific video. At least I'm going to be talking about the things that I had to learn, not necessarily about myself, but the things that happened that I could literally do the parallel with content and business, and the things that you're going to learn via just life rather than just videos and books that you literally indulge in every single day. And I literally put that into like 5 different things that I learned here, and I hope they're relevant to you because they're relevant for me, I'll tell you that much. The first thing is, it's not over until it's over. Like, and I mean that based upon the one thing that I learned more so than anything else is that I don't know when to stop, right? You got to finish what you start, right? During the race, I had like this internal voice of being like, maybe we should stop, maybe we should go at the end of this thing, like, you know, maybe we should get back to the overall like aid station. Maybe you should like, nobody cares if you don't win, nobody cares if you actually finish or not, this, that, and whatever. But at the end of the day, I care, right? Like, in the middle of the marathon, like I think it was like mile 17, because if you didn't know, a marathon's like 26.2 miles. At the middle of mile 17, my legs crashed out. Like, they literally crashed out. They locked out. My feet were like moving on their own like this. I was on the floor. I was literally staring up at the branches of a tree that I was sitting under, and I wanted to be okay, like on the floor, like stationary for a couple minutes, so that way I can get back into the race, right? Which I did do that. Luckily, one of the people from the aid station actually came up to me and was just making sure that I was cool. Like, everything else was cool, it's just my legs, bro. I literally crashed out like almost in fetal position. No, I'll be honest, I was in fetal position, but it was crazy. But the parallel to content and business of this is that sometimes that little voice in your ear is going to show up and say, views are low, you know, this isn't working, just post less, or don't post at all because it doesn't matter, like, maybe this isn't for you. And the truth of the fact, or the matter of fact, or the truth of the matter is mainly like, you don't get a medal for feeling good at mile 7. You get it when you cross the finish line, when you finish, right? And how that relates to content and business overall is that you don't get rewarded for intentions, which is super huge, right? You only get credit for the things that you finish and the series that you actually complete. Like the 30 days of content that you said you were going to post, like the offer that you were actually going to launch. And the key idea here is that you might be at like mile 18 of your YouTube journey and whatnot, but at the end of the day, you can't judge your story based off of where you are in the middle of the race. You can only judge your story based off when you're at the end of the race, when you finish, right? And there's more to say about you as a person over everything else than, like when you finish, than any other situation in life, really. Because at the end of the day, a marathon running it is a race. At the end of the day, you have like hundreds of people or thousands of people, depending on what marathon race you're doing. And people are there to race. You know what I'm saying? I came in third place, which is cool. But towards the end of the freaking marathon, I had to walk, yo. My legs were done. Dunzo. I couldn't walk anymore. I couldn't even run. I had to walk. And when I walked, I literally was like locking out the whole freaking 9 miles back. You know what I'm saying? So you have to take into consideration is just like your judgment of yourself and your performance isn't based off of the middle of the race. It's based off how when you finish. It's literally when you hit the wall, when you're literally at mile 22, mile 23, even mile 26, and you got 0.2 miles left. That's when you should really judge your character and your willingness to finish the things that you start. And I think that's absolutely stupidly important. The next thing that I learned is that you learn something from every single race. That was like one of the crucial things that I learned from Abby overall. Shout out to Abby. In this marathon, I'll be honest, the race wasn't perfect. There were moments of pride. There were moments of I could have probably prepared better, especially for my legs, especially when it comes to strength. But when you take it into consideration, it's like every race is data, right? It's like how my body responded is data. What my pace was data. What were my pre-race choices is essentially what worked, what didn't, is essentially data. It's the same thing with content and with business, right? It's like every video or campaign is its own little race because the duration or the reach of every single one of our videos is not necessarily figured out within the first time that you post. It happens like literally days or months or even years afterwards that people even see our videos, and then that's data in itself. Because the good and bad performance today is data, but not your identity, if that makes sense. So like a 20 view video is data. A 2,000 view video is data. A 2 million view video is data. So the questions to ask yourself is, did people click this title? Do they like this title? Did they stay? How long did they stay? Did the topic feel aligned with them and this specific client avatar? How did it not? So then the key idea here, really, more so than anything else, is like you can't just stop after one bad race, right? Each upload refines your pacing, your messaging, your conviction, and your audience's retention and understanding. So then therefore, it's like, why are you gonna quit after just one video? You might as well make more, because that's how you learn. That's data at the end of the day. Now the third thing, and before we get into the third thing, if you like the video so far, make sure to like this video and subscribe because it really helps out the channel. And I really appreciate it because I put videos out like this every single day. Anyway, getting back into point 3, it's like you can prepare all you want. You can literally prepare all you want, and something can still go wrong. Like literally Abby told me this right before the race, and I was like, yeah, whatever. It's gonna be fine, this, that, and whatever. It's like, literally with the marathon, the training was done. I did the long runs, I did the nutrition, I did the pacing, I did the breath work, I did all this, that, and the third. Still, my legs locked up at 17.5 miles. My pace fell apart, and there are some unexpected issues. Like, it's crazy. And it's the same thing with business and content, right? Like, you can literally build a funnel, you can script the video, you can set up the tracking, you can make the ad, and it's still, the ad doesn't perform. The video flops, content backs out, this, that, and the third, or a platform changes every single freaking 6 months, especially with the algorithm. Shout out to YouTube algorithm. But your response is either one of two things, right? So it's C, it doesn't work, like a lot of pessimistic people say. And that means that they're going to quit, most likely in the next 3 to 6 months. Or you say, of course something happened. So then how are we going to do this to change? It just depends on the person you are, really. And being in business, you have to become a formidable foe to your limiting beliefs, more so than anything else. And with resilience, more so than anything else, adjusting your expectations mid-race, let's say, or adjusting your expectations or expectations of self mid-strategy or mid-campaign is absolutely necessary. And you don't just abandon a whole freaking thing that you're doing. You can't just abandon your whole idea or the life that you wanted to create with content or the stuff that you were going to do with social media overall to fulfill yourself creatively just because a couple variables were not necessarily in line with what happened when you were trying to execute. Doesn't make any sense. So the next one is I need stronger legs, because I do. Which basically equates to the fundamentals matter, right? So like at the marathon, like at the end of everything, like I'm telling you, like 17.5 miles, like everything was cool. I was chilling, just my legs were done, right? Which is kind of crazy, which means that my willpower was there, like my mental, my conditioning, but the foundation, literally the stuff that I used to run, being my legs, just fell through the door. Like there was no possibility that I was gonna make that happen, but I still made it happen. So then that means I have to work on my strength, right? I have to work on my durability of my legs. They'll be willing to withstand multiple instances of impact into my legs. That aspect of my training needs to work, right? And the same thing, it's the parallel with content and business, right? The legs equal fundamentals, right? Because the fundamentals are essentially your foundation of any business, right? Whether it be like in the content business, it would be like your communication on camera, your storytelling, your clarity about money, about your business, about your systems, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The consistency at which you post and everything else that you're doing, right? The symptom of weak legs, right, would be that your views drop after 30 seconds, there's no retention rate, your message is scattered all over the place, and you burn out after 2 weeks just because you feel like it's not working. So what do you need to fix? It's not necessarily new gear, right? It's not like another camera's not going to help you be more efficient on camera. You just need more reps on the basics, more so than anything else. Just literally talking to the camera daily, like I do, practicing hooks on a consistent basis, practicing with people, asking them, how does this sound? You know, refining your niche, your message, you know, making simple videos repeatedly, right? So that way you're literally showing up for yourself, for your business, for your content, for your side hustle. It doesn't matter how you want to do this, but more so than anything else, it's important to you, so then you must treat it like it is. So the strong fundamentals are going to let you go far, but they'll also help you go fast if you do it the right way. And the last thing, more so than anything else, I need to lose weight. Your boy needs to lose weight. The reason why I say this is because this point equates to trimming the fat in business. And I'll explain. So like in the marathon, extra pounds, what I've learned, extra pounds on the body equals more drag, which is essentially like, I think there was something that it said where it's like 1 pound equates to 3 pounds of pressure on your knees. And over 26.2 miles, that's a lot of pounds of pressure. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do the math. You could do it on your own. But it's literally all about efficiency, not necessarily aesthetics. I'm not trying to lose weight to look jacked or slim or whatever it is that people are trying to look aesthetic are trying to do. I'm trying to be efficient, right? So like with the content and business side of things, the extra weight that you carry is the overcomplicated systems, because I literally say this on this channel all the flipping time, where simple scales, complexity fails. You got too many offers, too many things that you're adding into your business overall, or just your content business or in the videos that you're making. You're trying to be on every single platform when you should be just focusing on one. You're super obsessed with perfectionism. You have a lot of self-doubt, and you're endlessly trying to tweak your videos just because you feel like you're not doing enough, right? But the practical weight loss situation is essentially making your systems more efficient, your output more efficient, just literally making everything more efficient, especially when it comes to making content. Like editing faster, not editing endlessly. Get an editor maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like posting the idea once instead of redoing it 10 times, especially on camera. If you just talk about the stuff that you believe in, And the last thing, more so than anything else, is simplifying the platforms and your offers that you're offering and the platforms that you show up on, right? It's like, you don't need to be on TikTok in order to be successful with your content. You don't need to be on Instagram in order to be successful. You don't need to be on any of these things, you know what I'm saying? Except for one. That's your main one, and then you double down on it when you finally get a result. So the key idea here is that you gotta lean your process, right? You gotta lean your process in everything that you do. The further you go with the same actions, the further you go with your plan, if that makes sense. So just to wrap up here, just to recap everything, as far as like everything that I learned from the marathon, you gotta commit to finishing, not just starting. You gotta learn from every race, being like literally every upload, every campaign. You gotta expect things to go wrong, because they do, and adapt. You gotta build stronger fundamentals, because the fundamentals are everything, like your legs, like your daily actions. And you gotta drop unnecessary weight. Cut the fat, literally oversimplify instead of overcomplicate, and just shoot perfection in the face and just be like, all right, cool, I'm gonna shoot as much content as flipping possible. And I'm gonna be honest, you might be at mile 18, like tired, questioning why you're even doing this in the first place. But the version of you, my friends, who finishes, is built on every single hard mile. And I think that's absolutely amazing. So a couple questions that I want to ask you that you can literally answer in the comment section. It's like, what's your marathon right now? Like, is it posting for a year and not getting results? Is it building a brand from scratch? Is it getting your first 10 clients with YouTube, or getting your first 10 million views, maybe 100,000 views, maybe even just 100 subscribers? Let me know. Otherwise, if you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe and turn your bell notifications on, because I put videos out like this every single day and you don't want to miss them, especially about storytelling, branding, content, in order to become financially free. And if you want more help as far as developing your personal brand, scaling it from here to the moon, then click the first link in the description so I can book a call with you and we can talk how you can better do your personal brand for you and for your financial life. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Peace.